Star Wars Unlimited fans, welcome to today's video where we're jumping back to JTL and looking at Luke JTL Green. Without a doubt, most of the JTL leaders are going to suck in this upcoming meta, with plenty of ways still to knock out JTL upgrades from the Outer Rim Constable to the new ship we got out of a Lawless Time that is escaping my name, but I'll put it in a little edit for you all so you know the name of it. Luke is probably the best of them. I still think Boba is still very dangerous because Boba did not lose much to make himself still very potential in this meta. But Luke is the best because he literally is the hardest JTL leader to get off the board because he just sticks to his fighter, and the only way to knock him out is to knock him off the fighter. So that's literally it. You have to get him off his ship. So that's the name of the game we're doing today, folks. We're taking Luke JTL Green over the Carabas for a best 2 out of 3. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick review of the leader, the deck, and then we'll go to Carabas. So Luke from JTL states action, tap him. If you attack with a fighter this phase, deal 1 damage to a unit. So it's a good chip little ping damage thing that you can pump around the battlefield whenever you want to. So you'll be able to swing fighter and then chip damage whatever you want. At 6 or more resources, you flip him over. You can deploy him as a leader for 5, 6. We never do that. He's a vanilla. What we want to do is we want to slap him onto a fighter, giving it a +4, +5 upgrade. And if he's attached to a fighter on his backside, you get to deal 2 damage to a unit on the attack. As well as he has a big fat, nice little upgrade that says cannot be knocked off of the fighter he's attached to. Why the JTL leaders could not have all had that is beyond me. Fantasy Flight, we have erratas for a reason. Yu-Gi-Oh! Does it plenty of times. They errata their cards to make them better. Every card game company does it sometimes. You could have added all of that text there, and if the leaders become broken because they can't get knocked off with upgrade hate, then fine. Give them erratas to where they actually can get knocked off with upgrade hate. That would have been the easiest method. We could have all been fine. We all would have had a very much more interesting meta than knowing that the only JTL leader that actually feels good to play is Luke, and then Boba's nice just because, well, Boba's just a indirect ping leader that flips, and then you'll be able to go the 5-drop that deals 3 damage to every damage unit, top of the summit. There it is. But nonetheless, this is still considerably maybe one of the more dangerous JTL leaders in this set. So for the rest of the deck, we are playing a triple R2. He can play on a vehicle pilot that already has an upgrade. A pilot onto it typically once a vehicle has a pilot on, you can't attach another pilot to it, but R2 is allowed to do that, unless of course you're also the Millennium Falcon from JTL. He pilots for 0, and then also, if he's the first pilot you play on it, he does give the effect to add an additional pilot to it. So technically, every ship attached to him can have 2 pilots. Gives the connotation that, remember, they're astromechs, so most vehicles within the Rebellion had an astromech slot that they would go into. So you'd have the main human, pilot, human, alien, whatever it be, plus then your astromech. Double Outer Rim Constable. We did lose the Fang Fighter, of course, because it was only printed in sets 2, 1, and 3. I think 1 and 2. So we did lose it, so we're going to run 2 of the Outer Rim Constable. This is just here for upgrade hate if we need to hit any other JTL leaders like the Boba, anything like that, off of their fighters. So we're just here running 2 of it. When played, defeat any upgrade. Triple Poe Dameron, the piloting one. We're always going to be playing him as his normal pilot for his normal cost of 4, and then when you play this unit, create an X-Wing token. You may attach the unit as an upgrade to a friendly vehicle without a pilot on it. So we always want to be playing Poe for his normal cost, and then creating the X-Wing token, and then putting him onto a fighter. We could attach him if need be using his piloting cost as well. I just think the extra X-Wing token is really nice. And finally, triple Sintakaz. When played, you may attack with a unit. It does have plot. So the turn we flip Luke onto a fighter, we're going to plot out Sintakaz and allow us to immediately attack with Luke on that fighter. For space, we're running triple Black One. We have the Poe Dameron in here, which does mean that we do get the effect of, on attack, if you control a Poe Dameron unit, upgrade, or leader, you may deal 1 damage to unit, as well as while this unit is upgraded, it gets +1. 2 Jedi Starfighter on attack may deal 1 damage to a space unit. If we happen to run into Vader JTL, we can then, of course, paying off all of his little TIE tokens, just so we can get rid of them altogether, so we don't have to worry about them. Again, I expect that leader to still be playable, but if you're asking me what JTL leader is going to be the most played right now, I still think Luke Skywalker is next to Boba Fett, but I think the Vader JTL still has a very much good chance in this meta as well, but again, he just could get knocked off his fighter, so it's just not great for him either. Triple Phoenix Squadron A-Wing, Triple Red Squadron Y-Wing on attack, deal 3 indirect damage to the defender, Triple Blue Squadron Blue Leader, with ambush, and then when played you may pay 2 and then move this unit to the ground you're in and give 2 experience tokens to it. It's a ground unit. As a reminder, you can choose to pay the 2 to move it to the ground and then ambush, or you can ambush into something and then pay 2 if it survived to move it to the ground. Triple Red 5 on attack, deal 2 damage to a damaged unit. This is really what we want to attach Luke Skywalker to, because if we can attach Luke Skywalker to Red 5, on swing, Luke's effect can go first to 2 damage to a unit, and then we can have Red 5's ability go next and deal 2 damage to the damaged unit that Luke damaged, so allowing us to do 4 damage to one single unit, which is pretty nice. Triple Sabine's Masterpiece, we may not get a chance to really play this around. I'm putting it in here because we still have the ability to have the chance for the red and green units to be out on the board through space, and the chance for a very small ground package with the Outer Rim Constable. But anyways, all we care about is the green and red. Green, give a unit experience token, including itself. Red, deal 1 damage to a unit or base, so typically our opponent stuff. So this is also really nice to combo into something like with Red 5 or anything like that. We can also put Luke on here and then make this even worse. Double Adept Arc 170 for the Restore 2. Triple Red Leader. This unit costs 1 less for each friendly pilot unit and upgrade, so meaning that if we have a couple of we have an R2 already on the board or a Poe Dameron on the board, we can reduce this cost as well. And then when a pilot upgrade attached to this unit, we just create an X-Wing token. And then finally, Triple Resistance Blue Squadron A-Wing, or Resistance Blue Squadron. It is technically an A-Wing on the picture. When played, you may deal damage to a unit with a number of friendly space units. So as a reminder, you can deal damage to any unit equal number of space. The majority of our deck is space. For our events, we have triple air superiority. We're playing in space, so this should be easy as long as our opponent's doesn't have a more space content object against us. We can easily get this off, where if we control more space units than our opponent, we deal 4 damage to a ground unit opponent controls. Triple stay on target, track with a vehicle unit. For this deck, it gets +2 and gains when the unit deals damage to the base. Draw a card. So typically, we always want to target our fighters. Swinging in for the extra +2 and then draw the card. Folks, this is probably a card that's going to see a ban very quick into this format. Aggressive Negotiations, attack with a unit. For its attack, it gets +1 for each card in your hand. This Luke Skywalker can get very dangerous with Aggressive Negotiations. So expect Aggressive Negotiations to be very much meta running around if you're in red, and expect it to probably see a ban very quickly into this format. I think some of my people were talking, of course, at my locals, that this card's probably going to see the ban. But yeah, we're running it, folks. There's no reason for us not to run it if we can attack with a Luke Skywalker vehicle and just pump a whole bunch of damage from it into our opponent. It's just great. And finally, 2 Grassroot Resistance to deal 3 damage to a unit and heal 3 damage from our base. Just a good way to ping a little bit more damage onto something. We can also do this first, and then if we have red 5 out, we can then go red 5 to hit the unit for 2 more damage if it didn't kill it. And then we can also heal here, which is pretty nice. For the rest of my sideboard, I'm running 2 of the Benthic 2 tubes in case we just don't run into any upgrade attack. We can just drop out the constables and put in some Benthics for some more ground support. Of on attack, deal 1 damage to enemy ground unit, which again is really nice to combo with, of course, the Luke Skywalker if we have a fighter out already, as well as when defeated, deal damage to a base. 1 more Outer Rim Constable if we just need to see a little more consistency with that upgrade hate. 1 more Adept Arc 170 if we just need to see some more restore. 3 Champ Sedula. I don't know if this is really going to see a lot of play, but we're going to run it in here anyway, just in case we happen to run into some way opponent is ramping. This probably would have been a little better maybe in the previous rotation format when 1, 2, and 3 were legal, when there was a little easier way to ramp. With only like the Mercenary, Expendable Mercenary, and Stockpile being the ways most decks can ramp right now, it's not easy to ramp, so there's not a lot of chance we'll bring this in, but if our opponent happens to be able to run a bunch of credit tokens out pretty soon and then go stockpile pretty cheap, then that ramps them 2 there, which means that we can utilize Champs and Dula, but again, I don't know how many decks are going to be able to run into that area. So we may never bring this in, but it's in here just in case we hit one of those style of decks. One more Grassroot Resistance, and then 2 Chewbacca. We're just bringing him here for the piloting of 3. Hero attached unit gains can't be defeated or returned by enemy card ability. So if we kind of want to protect the Sabine's Masterpiece, we can flip this under it and then protect the Sabine Masterpiece from being destroyed by return to hand or destroyed by enemy card ability. It does not protect itself from getting hit by No Glory on the Results, by the way. No Glory on the Results takes the unit, and technically it's their unit to kill. So with that said, that is our Luke JTL Green. Time to go to Carabas to see how well we do in a best 2 out of 3. Our game here is, folks, what was that word? The game is here, I guess. Maybe it's better wording for that. And we got an interesting one, Jin Urso. Our starting hand's pretty nice here. We already got the Y-Wing and we got Black One, which is pretty nice as well. So we'll keep. We can put Blue Leader away and a Y-Wing away. So Jin Urso is the new Rebel Tribal Leader. We lost the Leia Organa from Spark into the internal format. So this is our new Rebel. And I like her showcase, by the way, because the showcase really shows you all of the Rebel characters in the background when she's talked to everyone to tell them, you know, we're Rebellion. Rebellions stand on hope. So anyways, action pay 1. If a friendly Rebel unit was defeated this phase, search out 3 cards of your deck for a card and reveal it. So you don't have to even draw a Rebel, you just have to get a Rebel. She flips on 5 for 3/6, and on attack, if a friendly Rebel unit was defeated this phase, search top 3 cards of your deck and draw it. So what's a really good thing is on her turn 5 play, before you flip, you kill a Rebel dies, then you get to search yourself a Rebel card. Then you flip over again, you swing the 3, and you can search again because technically Jin recognizes the Rebel was still destroyed this phase. So that's really nice. So you get 2 searches for 1 turn, which is really nice. So I'll put out the Red Squadron A-Wing. They started off with a Chio fan here. On attack, you may choose 2 players. If you do, they each draw a card. This is required to choose the 2 players. You don't have to trigger the on attack skill, of course, but you do have to utilize the effect there. We could put the Outer Rim Constable. I don't think this deck has much in the way of upgrades. If it does, we're just immediately going to lose that, which kind of sucks. We can put this out. This is a Rebel here, so this will trigger Jin. We're just going to claim. Stay on target's pretty nice. We'll put the Black One away. As a reminder, meaning that he's just going to throw... Oh, he's going to go for Charge with Treason. If you do 5 damage to a unit. All right, so he's... Okay, they got the Aggressive Negotiations as well, so that's just going to kill me off. We're going to go for Red Leader here. All right, well, I was not expecting to charge with Treason, but that is a good card as well. Actually isn't too bad of a card, so we're both going to draw. They decide to just go. That is pretty nice to see that. And the Blue Squadron, we're going to be at 5 here. I know it kills the Rebel, which means they get 2 draws here, but I think I'm more... They're going to give us another draw. We're going to swing in for 3 there. Jin can pay 1 here. Yep. He's going to be able to search the top. He's going to reveal me a Ray. You have to reveal the card? Oh, they got the Ray off the ability. Okay, that's why they're revealing it. So Ray's effect states on it when this card is drawn. If it's not... When this card is drawn during the action phase, if you control a red leader or base, you may reveal this card from your hand. If you do 2 damage to a unit, 2 damage to a base. That's why he triggered that. We're gonna soft pass for right now because we have the Luke trigger still. So we're just gonna ping 1 damage onto the Jin. We're gonna eat a whole bunch of damage here. Ray is going to get revealed again because again they drew another Ray on me. We're just gonna claim. They now have so many cards. Yeah. We're going to flip, deploy Luke Skywalker as a pilot. We can go aggressive negotiations here. They do have aggressive negotiations as well. That's the thing, is that, man, this deck can draw, and it makes sense. They're just drawing into aggressive negotiations, going aggressive negotiations, and punching me in the face. I respect red 5's just going to get a whole bunch of damage. Oh, they're just going to punch my base into the face here for... okay, they're not going to go. Okay, so you're just going to go and kill Luke here. Makes sense to me. We will put out Sabine's Masterpiece. And we'll put out red 5 as well. We'll put out red 5. Well, there's the Synthicaz. That would have been really nice there to have plot out that turn. A Rebel did die, so that means Jin does get the effect. Okay, we're getting murdered by Jin right now. But as you can see, they dug through half of their deck. The Charismatic. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think this deck is extremely cool. 100%. We could put a Synth away. Don't get me wrong. I think this type of leader is just super cool overall. We're going to play this out. Then we're going to trigger the effect to trigger and then trigger to ambush and kill the Jin. We can then go stay on target. We can give an experience token to this and be able to Hammerhead to immediately kill off the Sabine's Masterpiece. Alright, we can go this here. We don't need to do that, so we can draw another. Grassroot Resistance is pretty nice. We can go ping 1 here. Karis, kill that, then create a token. Yep, show me the ray. We'll claim. Alright, well, I mean, we're dead here. We're 100% dead. There's just no way I can actually win out this game state. Because even aggressive negotiations does not win me it. I'd have to go aggressive negotiations, kill this off, and that'd be it. I can go grassroot resistance as well, so that's probably what we're going to have to do. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, it'd be a 9 plus, but unfortunately it doesn't do enough. We can do 2 damage there, knock it out. Yep. Alright, ready for game 2. Alright, well, I know one thing. We are taking out this because there's no upgrades in that deck. There's no ramp. We could put out the Benthic because they are definitely on the ground a lot. I think we're going to throw in the 2 Piloting Chewies just for some protection. We're going to start out. That's not too bad. We will keep. This might actually be pretty good to utilize here. And then we can throw like the R2 onto it to give it extra attack on it. Alright. Of course, we also have the black 01 here, which means we can't upgrade it with R2 to give that extra attack as well. I think we'll put these 2 away. We're going to put out black 1. We are going to put the R2 under it, meaning that we do not have the ability off of the black 1 as well. Let's put the Y-Wing away. The red 5 is actually... Red 5 actually can come out this turn because we are 1 less on the trigger here. Okay, so... I think let's just swing in for the 4 damage. Alright, we don't have the Poe, I forgot. The Poe is the attack trigger there. We're going to put out red there. Then we're going to ping 1 damage onto that, and we will pass. We can put this A-Wing away. I'm not really afraid of a Charismatic. The problem is both of these are dangerous. The Kane and Jarrus, bounce that back, drop the upgrade. Okay, blue leader into base. Hitting base, we'll go this. We'll ping that. The problem is, again, I mean, this turn it's not too bad to kill this because there's no resource for them to pay for that. So meaning that I don't have to worry about a rebel dying. And right now, since the ground is not in my control right now, there's not really an purpose to worry about that one right now. Let's go stay on target, swing for that, draw a Sabine's Masterpiece, which is pretty nice. We can drop a Sabine's Masterpiece. Again, if the Jin comes out this turn, Again, one thing we are keeping them off of is that ability to search with the Jinn. Since we are only living in space, unless they get more space bodies, that's where we'd have to deal with stuff. But unfortunately, why we don't have the problem is we're getting murdered on the ground right now, and we aren't getting enough. Okay, so they're just gonna take that back. Not sure exactly why. I guess maybe they're thinking that they could run out a blue leader and smash a blue leader into something. Swing. What we really need is to get a Synthicaz up and running. That's really what I kind of need. We're going to play Luke as a pilot, put Luke onto the Sabines. It's kind of what I need because right now we are getting ultra killed right now. So we can do stay on target, swing into base. We do have this ability to trigger. So we can go 1 damage. No, oh shoot, undo. Stay on target. We're dealing the experience token first. Then right, we don't have a red unit, so we can do 1 there. So we do the 3 there. We swing into base. He only has 27 health. He does heal. Draw that. All right, basically we won the game. I can attach an R2 here to win it. He doesn't have any way to restore, and I basically have this game. Yep, so that will be game 2 to us. All right, on to game number 3. Good game so far, man. By the way, I really want to play this Jinn. I think she's absolutely fun for what she can do. I'm going to throw in an extra grassroots resistance just to have an extra hitting power in my opponent's face. And I'm going to drop. And I think we still need triple air superiority. I think we're going to drop a black 1. While it's not great, I think the black 1 coming down to 2 is fine because literally the only way to get the Poe effect, the Poe damage pinging effect, is we have to see one of these Poes. All right, we are ready to go. My opponent will starting out, but man, this has been a really good start here. That is not a hand we are keeping. Let's mulligan that immediately. That is a much better looking hand overall. Aggressive negotiations. This kind of sucks for how we want to do this. We have air superiority. I have my 3 play, my 4 play, because we're going to play the Podameron on the ground to trigger its effect. We have the 4 as well with this. We're going to have to probably put these 2 away if I'm being a little honest, and it sucks. But yeah, I think because just the way we are. So we're going to drop that. We do have air superiority. One thing is we're not air superiority a Karis Nimic, that's for sure. We're going to have to go for stay on target because for this turn at least we don't need to trigger that one. We're going to swing 3 damage as well. Then we're going to drop the Sabine's Masterpiece. All right, we can hit that for 1 more. That is the problem that we are finding out is the fact of the matter is the second they get any space, it's dangerous. There's Poe's X-Wing, which is pretty nice. We still have air superiority. That's the thing. We'll have more space units on him. I'm gonna have to put Poe's away because I like having the blue leader out right now. Because funny enough, you could just do blue leader, not ambush, and have a 5/5 on the ground, which is pretty nice. Let's go Poe. Play Poe, equip him here. Get an X-Wing token in space. Jinn's effect can trigger here. He did trade out the Sabine's Masterpiece for the squadron. Constable to kill the Poe, which makes sense. We can, of course, kill the Constable off here so we don't have another 3 damage body hitting us in the face. So just kill the Constable off. Yeah, I mean, the Constable's nice, I guess, for 1 upgrade, 2 upgrades we have, the Chewie and this, because this can't be defeated by enemy card abilities, which makes this, like I said, it makes him a whole lot harder to kill off. All right, the big question is, do we go the Sabine's Masterpiece? I guess we do, because we have air superiority to kill off the Yaddle, and Yaddle is not a rebel. She's a Republic era, so that can just get that immediately off. We can drop another Sabine's Masterpiece because we do immediately be able to flip the Luke onto this, which means that they'd have to run into the Sabine's Masterpiece to kill it. Again, I think for Jin, the biggest problem I think we can see right here is game 1, they were able to get everything off because they had rebels that could constantly be sacrificed. So they're going to kill a Karis Nimic to then show me a Hammerhead and then create that. Okay, so meaning that we have a Hammerhead now to come down. Meaning that they could easily kill this. So we're just going to claim because I'm too afraid of the Hammerhead. I'm heavily afraid of that Hammerhead that he's got. So I really don't want to lose it. And while, yes, he could have brought out Jin, I think it's just better for us to claim the initiative here and to certain that we can flip the Luke. And attack with the Luke as well, because there's the Sintakaz. We're going to deploy Luke Skywalker as a pilot. Then we're going to trigger Sintakaz. We're going to attack immediately. Then we get to immediately give ourselves an experience token, and we can deal 3 damage to a unit. We are immediately going to kill off. Oh, right. We have a red unit, so undo. Okay, let's do this right. I need to read these little things. Apologies to my poet. Trigger Kinta. Then we're going to go experience token. Then we can deal 1 damage to a unit, deal it to Bodhi Rock, and then kill Bodhi Rock. While it sucks because that immediately gives them the Rebel tag. Nothing I can do about that. And I mean, literally, the Hammerhead can't deal enough damage to kill the Sabine's Masterpiece. So they get to draw the 1. They do get the Ray. That does do 2 damage. Or no, they're just going to kill off my X-Wing. All right. We killed that. By the way, we still have stay on target as well, so we do have that ability. Unfortunately, we just lost our green card. They just don't want us to have green again. That's the thing. And I mean, next turn, we also have the Sintakaz, which is dangerous as well. So they still have full 6. We know the Rebellious Hammerhead, but the Rebellious Hammerhead won't be able to do enough damage to kill Sabine's TIE Fighter at all. And we can also just go aggressive negotiations here as well. So that's going to kill that. Rebellious Hammerhead, create another spy. We're just going to claim another spy can kill off Sintakaz. Yup, then 2 damage to the base. They can still drop the Rebellious Hammerhead. We can easily just skip our resource turn, hold 5 cards in hand, getting a +5 bonus. So Lost and Forgotten, by the way, can't kill kills a non-leader unit and restores 3. So here's the thing. Do we have enough here if we just ignore this? So 5, so 2 more, 13. That's 29. That's enough. We just go to done. Aggressive negotiations. We don't have anything, so 3 damage, kill the spy, game. That's a win, folks. He's great. Now, I don't think this is the deck to build him with. I think I would change some things, but overall, damn, he feels good. All right, yeah, and I'm glad we faced a Jyn Erso. As we basically saw in Game 2, Jyn Erso, I think, really struggles if you can't get enough of your rebels to die in combat. You need your rebels to die so you can constantly search out your stuff that you need so that you constantly can go for the win. Without the rebels that dying, you really can't get go for your draw, go for your search, and get your stuff that you want so you can build out your hand. Game 3 was close, but yeah, I think what the winner was, aggressive negotiations. It won him game 1 by beating me down senseless, and it won us game 3 because it's just literally just give a guy a bunch of power and win the game. So yeah, I don't know. The weird part is I'm not sure why he was in the splash base there with Jyn. Maybe there was a reason for it. I think maybe it was like I think it's because of the Kanan. I bet they used a splash base in game 2 for the Kanan. So that would be a reason to play, would be for Kanan because of his ability, especially because you would be in, I don't even think you even get the bounce back. No, you do get the bounce back to 4 because I think you were in, as long as Kanan's, no, Kanan doesn't bounce back anything but 2s in this case because he didn't have the other coloration. But nonetheless, I think the Jyn Erso deck is pretty fun as well, folks. We're going to definitely be checking that one out. It's a really cool tribal rebel style deck. But nonetheless, guys, you let me know your thoughts down in the comments on Luke JTL Green. What are your thoughts on Luke? What are your thoughts on him potentially being the best JTL leader going into this current meta? And what are your thoughts, guys, on aggressive negotiations? Do you think this is going to be the first true ban card of this rotated format? Because we do not have a premier ban list right now. All the cards that we have on the premier ban list were all cards from set 1, 2, and 3, which all went to in the Eternal format. And let me know, guys, if you want me to check out Eternal. Do you guys want me to look at deck lists with Eternal and all of that? Let me know that down in the comments. My plan is not to. I'm probably going to be playing a lot more Premier. But if you guys really want me to look at Eternal, let me know, and I'll do a video looking at Eternal decks. We may do one every once a month if you guys really want that. But again, you got to let me know down in the comments if you guys want Eternal content for this game. Because my plan is to only really work with Premier and not really concern myself with Eternal, or at least Eternal until an Eternal ban list gets up and running. But with all that said, do make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you're notified when my videos go live for you. I will see you next time on Mama Dragons TCG.